Yan, so welcome now to my very first video. Today we'll be learning the accounting basics. And we'll be answering up to 21 questions from accountingcoach.com. Okay, yan. And along the way, I'll be explaining why it was the answer. Yeah. So number one, the financial statement that reports the revenues and expenses for a period of time, such as a year or a month, is the income statement. And so the accountants usually prepare for financial statements. Income statement. But number one is the balance sheet or the statement of financial position, which compose the assets, liabilities, or equity, or the accounting equation. Okay, number two, the statement of changes in equity, which serves the bridge between the balance sheet and the income statement, as it reports the drawings to the equity and the net income or net loss. And last is the net income, which represents the expense and revenues. We can see that it's a period of time. Diba? Income statement. What do we mean by a period of time? We have example here, Jollibee. Now, on 2020, this is the reported revenue. Take note that this is the revenue in a quarter basis or from a 3-month perspective. Okay? However, in the balance sheet, net and cash, nakita natin na 26,470. Okay? Millions to Now, this is the accumulated cash from the beginning that Jollibee was established or Jollibee started using a accounting system, diba? And so from 1978 pa yung balance na yan or what time pa yung gumamit silang accounting system. Yan, again, another example of a statement of cash flow. Ayan, operating, investing, financing. So in the income statement, ayan, the revenues in the top and the net income at the bottom. So, nakikita natin 4-5 months ended. Ito naman as of December 31. Balance sheet. As of yan lagi. As of. Okay, number 2. The financial statement that reports the assets, liabilities, and stockholders' equity at a specific date. Again, specific date. It is a balance sheet. Balance sheet is a point of time. Income statement is a period of time. Period of time. Yan ito. So number 3. Under the accrual basis of accounting, revenues are reported in the accounting period when service or goods have been delivered. And what do we mean by this? Kasi we have the accounting concepts, di ba? Kumbaga, pag sa science, we have the law of motion, di ba? Mga ganun. So sa accounting, we have different principles, basic revenue, recognition, the going concern, accrual basis. What stays here, diba, na even though that we have received cash, we don't recognize the revenue. For example, nag-down payment yung customer sa atin, revenue. Kasi di pa natin na-perform or na-deliver yung goods na hinihingi niya. So, liability pa siya. Okay? Number 4. Under the accrual base of accounting, expenses are reported in the accounting period when, again, not when cash is paid. It is when expenses matches the revenue. Let's take an example. We buy a printer. But it is an expense when you think of it. Computer shop yung business natin. Expense na siya. However, do you think that the full 20,000 complements yung kinikita natin ngayon? We don't recognize it as an expense. We recognize it as an asset first. But then, little by little, we will recognize the expense because it complements the revenue. We bought a building for 1 million. And the building is used for 50 years. Yun. So 1 million divided by 50. Yun. So we will recognize only 20,000 as expense year by year. Okay. Yun. So number 5. Revenue minus expenses equals the net income. Okay. Again. And when the expenses exceeds the revenue, hindi syempre net loss siya. Okay. So number 6. The resources owned by companies such as cash, accounts receivable, vehicles, reported on the balance sheet as the asset. Okay, we have different kinds of asset. Ayan, nakita natin. So, different kinds of asset. And take note, a common misconception is pag asset physical agad. No. Asset is also intangible. Di ba natin na, for example, licenses, royalties. The main definition of an asset that has future economic benefits that can be used. Okay, so number 7. Assets are usually reported on the balance sheet at which amount the cost. Ayan. Again, we have one of under the conceptual framework of accounting, historical cost, original cost. Ayan. For example, land. So we know that land appreciates over time, di ba? Because of inflation. Yan, halimbawa, we bought a land, Camellia Homes. Magkano ba ang land? Small lot lang, mga 1 million. Tapos by 10 years from now, yung 1 million, 2 million na siya. However, the accountant will measure it 1 million, not 2 million. Diba? Despite it increases the fair value. That's the historical cost principle. This not only applies to land, it also applies to equipment, to cash. Okay. I mean to prepaid. Okay. So number 8, obligations owed are reported on the balance sheet and are referred to as liabilities. Again, different liabilities, accounts payable, notes payable, bonds payable, mga utang yan. However, natin warranties payable, hindi siya money. Exactly. That the company is liable, diba, to fix, alam mo, iPhone. And the customer, diba, goes to the technical support and seeks to fix the audio. So the company must recognize that there's an expected liability, diba? That there's a certain percentage that mga 2% ng sales, may warranties na mag-i-incur in the future. So ano siya, liability. And pension plan, company must accumulate or must save for yung mga PhilHealth or mga medical insurance for its employees and unearned revenue and interest payable. Yeah. So number 9, liabilities are often have a word payable from it and from the word itself payable. Let's check. Liabilities payable. Okay, number 10, unearned revenues is what type of account liability? Again, from an example from the down payment. Okay, example that we have a business, online business that we sell cupcakes. Ayan. Tapos the customer pays through online, for example, GCash. For example, BDO. Ayan. Yung cupcake natin, ano siya, 1,000. Isang set na siya. And the customer now paid 1,000. So, the journal entry from that is, syempre, cash is going in. So, cash in debit siya, 10,000 or 1,000. Okay. However, we haven't delivered the goods yet, di ba? I mean, nasa kamay pa natin yung mismong cupcake. Hindi pa nata-transfer sa Lalamove or sa Lazada or kung ano mang mode of transportation. So, unearned revenue pa siya. Okay, na 1,000. And as soon as na-receive na ng customer physically yung goods, so we cancel out the unearned revenue and we now recognize the revenue. Ano ba? Sales revenue, diba? We sell cupcakes of 1,000. So, the next videos I'll be explaining what is a journal entry, diba? Ano ba to? Particulars, what is the debit credit? Okay, I will tackle in the future videos. And number 11, accounting entries involve how many accounts? It is 2 or more. Yan, natin 2 siya lagi. However, we have 3. And for example, we bought a printer. Business natin computer shop. The printer cost Epson siya, 50,000. And we down payment of 20,000. The remaining 30,000 is utang. So ano siya, compound entry, cash and accounts payable. Sa debit side, we have equipment. Okay, so 3 siya. Okay, number 12. The listing of all accounts available for the use of the company's accounting system is known as the chart of accounts. Yan. So the accountants use this, diba, to summarize or to have a system. Kasi in real life, there's a lot of different kinds of cash. For example, money order, or the petty cash. The prepaid, we have rent, prepaid rent, we have the rent, advertisement, prepaid supplies. Ang daming yan. Or equipment, diba? Pwede building, pwede furniture. Or sa equipment, we can have vehicles. So, the accountants use na lahat ng assets, one magsisimula, 1,000, 2,000, 1,000, 100, 10,000, 1 siya. And as soon as liabilities na, we refer it to 20, 200. Ayan. And we use this reference for posting. Yan. So, I'll be explaining the accounting cycle in the future videos. Okay. So, number 13, assets minus liabilities equals the equity. Okay. Again, the accounting equation. Pwede natin paglalaruan. Yan. Ano ba? Liabilities plus equity, assets. Assets minus equity, liabilities. And number 14, which term is associated with left or right? Debit is left. Okay. Credit is right. So do not confuse that pag debit good na or debit is bad, no? Debit is left. Liabilities is right. Okay. Ayan. So, number 16. When cash is received, diba? The account cash will be, what do you guess? The answer here is debit. Again, the rule, lahat ng assets, lahat ng expense, lahat ng drawings, debit yan. Pag pumapasok or goes up or it increase, yan. Kasi cash is going in the business. So, it should be debited. However, number 17, cash is going out. Diba? Alam mo, nagbayad tayo ng electrical bill. So, it should be credited the opposite. Yan. So, debit, going in, credit going out for cash. Yan. Ito naman, okay, debit. Asset account is increasing, so it should be debited. Correct. Na ito, let's check. Credit, debit, okay. So, number 19, what usually causes a liability accounts payable to increase? Should be credited. Diba? Nagka-utang tayo, credit agad yun. Nabawasan tayo ng utang, debit. Again, diba, the mapping system, liabilities, equity, net income, revenue, credit yan lagi. So number 20, last two questions. Entries to expense is a debit. Diba? Interest expense, utilities expense, depreciation expense, bad debt expense. Yan, mga ano yan, adjusting entries. Debit siya. And lastly, number 21, all revenue accounts is a credit. Yan. So I hope that you have learned a lot in this video. And stay tuned. Yan. I will be uploading more videos. And I will be making about 30 videos for this basic accounting course. Yan. And God bless everyone. Thank you.